So again, welcome to the MAPTmedia video log around managing content or content management system via the cloud. As a quick review, as we know, we're using a computer or a browser to actually access the cloud-based software for MAPTmedia to allow us to upload and deploy our content, upload, deploy, and manage our content to our environment via the internet. So we just need a browser to get to the cloud for our content uploads. And then, of course, when we want to deploy this content into our kiosk environment, we just need an internet connection to our kiosk to be able to push that out. Now, the key thing to remember is the kiosk needs access to the internet, but not 100% of the time. The only time that the content will be refreshed is if the kiosk actually has access to the internet. And of course, we can manage this content to a single or multi kiosk environments in multiple locations. As we remember, we log into the system. In this case, in previous video logs, we talked about logging into the system. Here I'm logged in as Patrick at MAPTmedia, and I've got my content area. A real quick review, of course, we do have the templates that we've selected or can select as before, and we can change those. We've seen that before and scroll along and see different things. So templates is the style for the kiosk. The content is what we're talking about today, about uploading that content into the cloud. And then we'll see basically the screens that we have. And of course, we can preview that content as we deploy it, as well as stats. And on this side here, we got the projects. But let's go back to the content, because that was a quick review from the other videos. So we've got the content here, and we have a couple of key areas. We have the upload files feature, and I can create content. Basically, when I'm creating content, it's more as the ability to upload and file it accordingly. So here's a new folder file, and the ability to upload. One of the things I would suggest is that this area is very important. You need to ensure that you have appropriate folders for all of your content to ensure that that you don't sort of get lost when you start to map this to the template itself, because we are going to map this content to the template, or we can, and we don't. And everything that's here in this content area does not have to be mapped to this template. But we'll see as we look at certain areas that I can map this content. This content can be mapped to specific areas on the screen for review. And in this case, you can see this teddy bear picnic. And you can also, if we go to the preview screen, we'll see that teddy bear picnic come up. So it's important to remember, though, that this is a preview screen. So this is not actually how fast the kiosk is refreshing its content. This is just for us to basically see how this looks. So again, I could have a whole bunch of content in here that is actually not mapped to any specific place on my kiosk, but is available for me to use. In this case, we did see one of the images that was actually being used, which is the main image. And the second thing is, of course, then is to name it properly. So what I've done is, in parallel, is that I ensure that on my desktop I have, when I'm doing a project, that I still try to ensure that these bear images and all these other components of the videos that we'll show you later that I'm going to upload, and my video buttons, I have those sort of assigned to each project as well. So you want to be organized on your own desktop. At the same time, you want to ensure that you're organized as well onto your CMS system, and to ensure that you don't get sort of lost or confused, or it comes up with a real big mess. We'll show you how to manage this content. In this case, I've uploaded it, so I can actually delete. I'm going to remove some of these files, so I could remove this teddy bear image if I wanted to. Of course, the minute I do that, it's no longer attached to anything. So as you go down to this content area, it's showing there, but it won't display. So so that's important to know. But if I go to my content area at this point, I can just delete. I can rename things, obviously, if I wanted to, or I can actually delete it. So I'm going to remove some of these things so that we can see, and I can actually delete all these buttons themselves and remove them. And so now I'm starting from fresh. So in this case, as we talked about before, on my main screen, I've got my bare images, bare, pardon the pun there. I have my bare-ish images for my bear picnic. I've got my videos and my video buttons, which I was using before. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm just going to call this videos. And I was going to add that. And if I click on the videos, we know that now I'm going to upload the files. And I can go into my, in this case I'm using a removable disk. And I'm going to go into my videos. And I can upload one video if I wanted to, or I can actually upload all four. And I'm just going to open that up and we can see them that they're loading. Again, it's important that you name them properly, that you understand from a business perspective how you're using those things, because I can clean this out and basically use it at a certain time based on a schedule, or I can just basically change it as I require. So again, it's important that we do ensure that we manage it properly on our content management system, as well as if we're managing it onto our desktop. So we'll let this load up a little bit, and we can see that obviously based on the speed and the size of the file, we now have all those videos in there. Now if I wanted to, I'm going to go back again and I'm going to look at adding a new folder. In this sense, I have my bare images, so I'm going to add that. I'm going to basically click on bare images. I'm going to upload files. I'm going to go back to my desktop portion, and I'm going to go to my projects. I got my bare images, and I'm just going to take them all again, and I'm going to open those, and we're going to upload them again. So I really got rid of everything really fast, and as you can see, I've got my bare images, I got my videos. I think the last thing I had on a new folder was actually my buttons, and we'll find out later that we could actually use images or preset buttons. So in this case, we'll go to the buttons. Excuse me. We'll upload those buttons. I got video buttons. I can also use images as well. But what we did was we took some very short video and compressed that for our buttons. So as a quick review, we've got our content area. I'm using the content with bare images for this specific project. I've got my buttons and I got my video. Again, what I did, as I said before, was I ensured that the content that I'm trying to manage is pretty well parallel to how I'm managing stuff onto my MAPTmedia content management system. And then we'll show you next how we can take this information and map it to the actual templates to launch it to our kiosks.